Have you ever pondered about the infinite interconnectedness of the universe and our place in it? This question, though simple, invites us into a world of profound philosophy and introspection. A world where everything is linked to everything else in a grand cosmic dance. Interconnectedness, a concept that may seem abstract and elusive at first glance, is actually a fundamental cornerstone of various philosophies and religions. The idea that we're all part of a larger whole, intertwined in ways we may not always comprehend, is a common thread that weaves through the fabric of human thought. In the realm of philosophy, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus once proclaimed that everything flows, suggesting an ever-changing universe where interconnectedness is inherent. The Stoics, too, held a similar belief. They posited that the universe is a single unified entity, and we are but parts of this whole, connected in a complex web of cause and effect. This idea is echoed in many spiritual traditions as well. In Hinduism, it's reflected in the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality or cosmic power that permeates everything. In the indigenous cultures of the Americas, the web of life is a central theme, where every creature and element is understood to be part of a larger, interconnected system. But perhaps it's in Buddhism where this idea of interconnectedness finds its most poetic and powerful expression. Buddhism, with its emphasis on the interdependence of all phenomena, presents a unique lens through which to view this interconnectedness. It challenges us to look beyond our individual selves, to see the intricate web of relationships and connections that define our existence. This interconnectedness, this web of relationships, is not just a philosophical idea. It's a way of understanding our place in the cosmos, a reminder that we are not isolated entities, but part of a larger, interconnected whole. It's a call to recognize our shared humanity, our shared existence, and the profound ways in which we impact each other and the world around us. In Buddhism, this interconnectedness takes a beautiful poetic form in the concept of Indra's net. So, what exactly is Indra's net? This profound concept, deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy, is an elegant metaphor that encapsulates the intricate web of interconnections that form our universe. To better understand it, let's imagine a vast net, infinite in its dimensions, stretching in all directions without end. At each intersection of this colossal net, picture a shimmering dewdrop reflecting the morning sun. And within each of these countless dewdrops, you can see the reflection of all the other dewdrops. This is the essence of Indra's net, an infinite matrix of dewdrops, each one mirroring an image of its neighbor, which in turn mirrors its neighbor, and so on, ad infinitum. It symbolizes a universe where infinitely repeated mutual relations exist between all members of the universe. But what does this mean in practical terms? It suggests that nothing exists independently or in isolation. Each dewdrop, while appearing separate, is inherently connected to every other dewdrop. They are all part of the same net, the same universe. Each dewdrop reflects not just the dewdrops immediately surrounding it, but all the dewdrops. In this way, each dewdrop contains a reflection of the entire universe. Moreover, the reflections are not static. As the dewdrops move and change, so too do their reflections. This dynamic nature of the net underscores the constant flux and interplay of the universe. It's a dance, a symphony of change and interconnection that never ceases. It's a humbling concept, isn't it? It reminds us of our place in the grand scheme of things. We, like the dewdrops, are not solitary entities. We are interconnected, reflecting and being reflected by everything around us. In essence, Indra's net portrays the universe as a vast, interconnected network of entities, each reflecting and being reflected by all others. It's a testament to the beautiful complexity of our world, where nothing exists in isolation, and everything is a part of the wondrous whole. Now, what implications does Indra's net have on our understanding of individuality? This question leads us into a fascinating exploration of the Buddhist perspective on individuality as influenced by Indra's net. Buddhism challenges us to deconstruct our notions of the self. It suggests that our sense of I, this belief in a unique, independent self, is merely an illusion, and the concept of Indra's net further emphasizes this. Imagine a vast web stretching in all directions filled with countless jewels, each reflecting all the others. This is the image evoked by Indra's net. It suggests that all entities and phenomena in the universe, including us, are intimately interconnected. Each of us is like a jewel on the net, reflecting and being reflected by all others. There's no room for a separate, independent self in this picture. So, what does this mean for our sense of individuality? It means that we are not isolated entities, but rather parts of a larger dynamic whole. We are not separate from the world around us, but are deeply intertwined with it. Each action we take, each thought we have, reverberates through the net, influencing and being influenced by the whole. It's a perspective that challenges our usual way of seeing things. We're used to thinking of ourselves as independent beings, separate from others and the world around us. But the image of Indra's net invites us to see beyond this illusion. It invites us to recognize the deep interconnectedness of all things, and to see ourselves not as isolated entities, but as integral parts of a vast, interdependent whole. The illusion of individuality is just that, an illusion. The reality, as suggested by Indra's net, is that we are all interconnected, part of a larger, dynamic whole. Every action, every thought, every moment of existence is deeply intertwined with the rest of the universe. From the perspective of Indra's net, we aren't isolated entities, but rather interconnected parts of a larger, dynamic whole. How does understanding the concept of Indra's net influence our daily lives and interactions? A question that points us towards the practical implications of Indra's net. Let's delve into this. Recognizing that we are all part of this intricate web, as depicted by Indra's net, can profoundly affect how we view ourselves and others. It's like a mirror, reflecting not just our own image, but the reflection of all other mirrors within the net. It shows us that our actions are not isolated events, but rather part of a larger, interconnected system. This understanding can foster empathy as we realize that others are not separate from us. They are part of the same web, experiencing the same joys and suffering as we do. This realization can dissolve barriers, allowing us to feel more connected to those around us. Moreover, it can stimulate compassion. Seeing ourselves in others can inspire us to be kinder, more understanding, and more forgiving. Not just towards others, but also towards ourselves. After all, if we are all part of the same web, the kindness we extend to others is also kindness we are extending to ourselves, but it doesn't stop there. Recognizing our interconnectedness also instills a sense of responsibility. We begin to understand that our actions ripple outwards, affecting the entire web. This can encourage us to act more mindfully, to consider the wider impact of our choices. Whether it's deciding to recycle, to eat healthy, or to vote in an election, we start to see these actions not just as personal choices, but as contributions to the well-being of the entire web. And so, understanding Indra's net can reshape not just our relationships with others, but also our relationship with the world at large. It can lead us towards a more mindful, compassionate way of living, where we don't just act for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the entire interconnected web. Realizing our interconnectedness, as portrayed by Indra's net, can be a stepping stone towards more mindful, compassionate living. As we draw to a close, let's reflect on what we've learned about Indra's net. This intricate and beautiful metaphor, deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy, has offered us a new lens through which to view our universe and our place within it. Indra's net, a boundless cosmic web adorned with infinite gems, each reflecting every other gem in the universe, symbolizes the interconnectedness of all things. It challenges our conventional understanding of individuality and separation. It nudges us to view ourselves not as solitary entities, but as integral parts of a vast, interconnected cosmos. Each one of us, like the gems on the net, mirror the whole universe in ourselves and reflect it back onto every other gem. This interconnectedness, however, is not merely an abstract concept. It carries profound practical implications. It suggests that every thought we think, every word we utter, every action we perform, sends ripples across this infinite net. It impacts every other gem, every other being, in ways we can scarcely comprehend. Furthermore, the illusion of individuality, shattered by the metaphor of Indra's net, urges us to cultivate compassion and understanding. For if we are all interconnected, then the joy and suffering of others are intrinsically linked to our own. This understanding can guide us to lead lives of greater empathy and kindness. And so, we see that Indra's net is not just a philosophical concept. It is a call to action, to conscious living, to empathy. It is a reminder of our shared destiny, our shared responsibility to each other and to the world we inhabit. As you go about your day, remember Indra's net. and consider how our actions and thoughts ripple across this vast, interconnected cosmos. Thank you for watching.